There's a game that always sticks out in my mind. I wrote about it this morning. Let me take you back to March 26th, 1999. It was a sunny day. It was the last year of the Forum in L.A. Game was on TNT. It was strike-shortened year where they went 27-23. The Kings were down 62-46 at the half, and Kenny Smith was imploring Ernie and Charles to wait for a comeback. Don't give up on them. Don't give up on this team. They're capable of scoring a lot of points. This is a different Kings team. Third quarter, Kings outscored LA 40-23 and took a 1-point lead going into the fourth. Remember, this is prime Shaq and Kobe here. Just start. It's back and forth all the way through the finish. Kings go up 105-99 on a Vernon Maxwell 3. Lakers then go on a 10-1 run. They're up 3 with about 30 left. Mad Max hits another 3, and we're tied. So Harper misses a 3 on the next possession. I had to go back and look at some of this, by the way. I'm not that smart. Vlade gets the rebound. Timeout, Adelman, 5.5 left. Vlade ends up shooting a 20-footer. Misses. Weber tips this insane tip back. It goes through with 0.4 left, and I'll never forget that play because they kept showing him coming down the floor and that Chris Weber growl, grimace, snarl, and Jason Williams goes to high-five him, and Weber is looking at the bench, goes to high-five Jay Will about mid-court, misses his hand, and literally slaps him right across the face. And they kept showing it in slow-mo, and it was a hard slap. Lakers never get a shot off, Kings win. Now, back in the TNT studio, the opposite of last night, Kenny is like the kid with the ice cream cone when no one else has an ice cream cone. You know, just, I told you, don't sleep on my Kings. They finished 27-23. That was a strike-shortened year. They play the Jazz in the playoffs. They get blown out at the Delta Center in the first game. Come back and win in the second game. You guys some of you will remember that series when Weber threw the hip check at John Stockton, knocked him to the ground, kind of a message like, you're not going to bully us. We're not the same team. Kings end up losing game 5. They lose the series. And I'll never forget, I was at a place called Mark and Monica's in Carmichael watching the game with a packed house. And as time was running out, I've never seen this before or since. Just randomly, everyone in the place stands up and gives it was about a 2-minute standing ovation at a Mark and Monica's. And I got to imagine
no one can hear it except for the people in there.
That's exactly right. It was, I'll never, ever, ever forget it. And I know there's been stops and starts since over the last 16, the Malone year when he got fired, the Yeager year where it all fell apart down the stretch. But last night reminded me a lot of that 99 game, not because the games were similar. They couldn't have been more not similar as a blowout, but because you got the feeling that this team was different. They put a national TV audience on notice. National media members are climbing on board. And sure, there's something to being the underdog and the lovable loser like the Cubs and all that. And everybody does want to climb on board. We're not obnoxious yet. We haven't won enough to be obnoxious. But last night felt like a hello, everybody. We're the new Sacramento Kings. We're not the old Sacramento Kings. And we're here to be a problem in the NBA.
Well, once the game was added as a nationally televised game, we point out like, hey, that's all the games are on TV. We talked to Kevin Herter about that. I mean, they're all being seen.
Yes.
But there is something different about that. And I just think just that phrasing without even knowing who the opponent is, you want to play well. Just on that, like, hey, look, this team is being showcased. There's a chance to, can you have a good version of yourself? And then they put that out last night.
Right.
Like, it was one of those nights. They played beautiful basketball, scored a boatload of points. Again, let's remember the Nets were a top 10 defense. And yes. I think Kevin Herter said a top 5 or number 1 in the last 5 games.
Yes.
And they did that to them.
Yep.
And it made it look easy, too.
Kevin Durant said it best. It was demoralizing.
Yeah.
They
took their spirit away.
I still feel like at some point I'm just going to wake up and be like, oh, we lost to the T-Wolves.
Yeah.
I don't know. Season best last night, points, 153. Field goals made, 56. Field goal percentage, 60.2. Dare I say that's on fire. They made 23 pointers. Is the team record still what, 23, 24?
I think it's 22.
Is it 22? God, you got to think they're going to break that.
Yes, they will.
Assists 39.
That might be my favorite.
39 assists on 56 made baskets.
Because if you start getting 28 to 30, you usually win. 39 is crazy.
66 points in the paint. And this is an area where you worry about this team.
Right.
Now, granted, the Nets aren't the biggest team around, but still, you got 2 6'10", 6'11", 7-foot type dudes, and Claxton and Simmons when they were playing.
Yeah.
They abused them. Bench points, season high, 83. 83.
Yeah,
Jason.
starters only scored 70. What's wrong with you guys?
Honestly, the entire Nets team scored 121, and our bench scored 83. As a matter of fact, I'm looking here. I'm doing this on the fly here. 21, 28, 31, 41, 42, 51, 61, 83 to 63 bench points last night. By the way, 63 is a really good number.
It is, and I want to say that they had their best quarter was the fourth. That might have been all bench points, so they got a lot of it there, maybe 39 of it. But bench was awesome, just all the way across the board. Everybody was awesome. I thought, was it the third quarter? No, it might have been the third quarter. So the Kings are up comfortably.
Yeah.
It was the first possession, and the Nets got one of those, breakdown defense. Timeout.
You're exactly right.
Timeout.
First possession.
And you go, I don't know, 12 seconds in, and it's like Mike Brown's using the timeout.
The announcer said, Mike Brown taking a really early timeout.
Yeah.
Like they noticed it.
He is doing that. He's committed to it. I think some guys were even asking him, players were making fun of him in the sense like, he finally cracked a smile like in the last 30 seconds. I mean, he is going to be on them. He's coaching them hard, and I think that's what this group needs.
From the 916, you can text us at 916-339-1140. You can call us at 1-800-920-1140. Hello again to a lot of new faces and all the old faces too in the YouTube chat. If you want to check us out, just go to Sactown Sports' YouTube page. Subscribe if you would. We would appreciate that. From the 916, Dave, I remember that Lakers-Kings game. I'm 38 years old. I still have it on recording on VHS. This feels a lot like 99. We started getting mentioned on SportsCenter back then. But the Kings have not been good at any point during the Twitter era. This could be huge. My son is 14. And it's almost like repeating all over again. You're absolutely right. What a game. What a showing for this team. And now the question is just simply, is this sustainable? You see Monty McNair's vision coming together. Now, let's not get it twisted. The Nets, at least right now, are a bad team. The Nets are now 6-9. There's still, I believe, 69 games to go in the season. But as it stands, the Kings are 7-6. They are one game behind the Grizzlies for the sixth spot, meaning the playoffs itself. I guess should also be mentioned that they are 1.5 games away from being out of the playoffs. Let's just try to keep it real there. The Kings now have a 2.5 point differential in the positive. That is 8th best in the NBA. The offense continues to just look fantastic. And I'm not going to sit here and say I feel like last night they could have beaten any team in the NBA. I don't know. But I will say this. How do I say this? Last night was my favorite win of the year in large part because it's Kevin Durant, it's the Nets, it's TNT and all that. I still believe Cleveland was much, much, much more of a quality win.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the way they had to do it, the way it was shaky at the end. This one was never really shaky. I mean, there's moments, obviously, when the Nets in the first half cut that deficit and tied it. But once the Kings regained, it just was a no-doubter. And I think they needed one of those.
They're not going to shoot
60%
from the field every night.
No.
But doesn't this also seem like something that's semi-sustainable? I don't see them doing anything. Terence Davis is going to have 31 every night.
No. But I think here's what's great about where the team is constructed now. I mean, I think your heavy lifters generally are going to be Fox and Sabonis.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can count on those guys to some level. But between the shooting of Herter, Murray, Monk, and Davis, if you get 2 to 3 of those guys making their shots, they're a problem. And I almost looked at it the other way last night. I go, man, they've got Joe Harris, Patty Mills, Seth Curry. Like if 2 or 3 of those guys get going, well,
look out.
None of them
not
did.
At any point.
It didn't really matter. So
Kings play the Spurs